Okay, I have a double feature for you guys today. At first, I thought I would do this as two individual videos, but you know, greater sense prevail, and I thought they're twins. I might as well do it as a double feature. Jen and Sylvia Saska are working on individual books for the Ripperverse. The good thing about this is you get to see their individual writing styles. Like I believe you'll probably get to see, okay, I can tell Jen wrote this part of Yaira or this part of Bloodruth. Okay, yeah, I can tell that Sylvia had more input in this part of Bloodruth or this part of Yaira. I think that's dope. I think together, these two are a dynamic duo. Rarely do you get siblings get along this well, let alone twins. Well, I guess maybe twins do get along this well, and we just don't see that much. Needless to say, them two working on independent books for the Ripperverse, obviously, I think this is a good deal. So let's get into this and see what they have going on. This is definitely exciting times in my humble opinion. I'm getting everything set up here, make sure my audio is correct. Let's go.
You can feel when something bad
This first one
happen.
is Lillian
People
Rashi.
swear these things appear out of thin air, but there are always signs, if you know where to look. I often see what others miss, things most are never meant to see. So
I will say that Lillian Rashi and Michael Copper's characters are the most mysterious, but after watching this video, I got some theories, some things that are running through my head that I may mention.
my curse. I love pain. It makes me stronger. The worse the pain, the greater the suffering.
That's an interesting dynamic.
The stronger I become. Whereas others live their lives avoiding pain and suffering at all costs, I turn to it. I welcome strength, no matter what the cost. Every ending is also a beginning. From death comes a new life. Before Michael Copper, before Flores Park.
Now, I will say in the comic books, she appears to be the more put together of the two. Not that Michael Copper isn't formidable, but it seems like Lillian Rashi is more thoughtful, maybe a little more cautious. Michael Copper seems like a rogue, do whatever he wants and let the chips fall where they may kind of guy. I could be mistaken. Maybe in the books that are released, we will learn a little more and maybe get a better idea. Well, I'm sure we'll get a better idea of who these characters are. Maybe I got him pegged wrong.
A power that was my birthright. It is not my fault. Sometimes bad things happen around me, and I do not know why. But sometimes very bad things happen.
So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what my theory is. This is a lot of guesswork. Like, obviously, in the Ripperverse, the country has fallen into war, broken apart. There's different factions. Texas is its own country. Could it be that Lillian Rashi's powers has something to do with the turmoil the country fell into that ultimately led to the breakup? It's an interesting thought. I think that's a huge possibility.
I wish I could control it, but I can't. I just know when something bad is about to happen.
And obviously she draws power from this, so she just wants more. And also, so I know I said I'm not into horror comics, and that stands. I'm really not. I looked, just over the things they presented for Bloodruth, and there was just things in it that I'm just like, I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. Not really my thing. This one they say is a horror comic, and They mention a genre. I'm not familiar with horror, so maybe somebody out there can school me in the different genres of horror, but I may have to buy this book. I might have to break down and buy this one.
Something bad is about to happen. Very bad. All I need to do is give it one little push. I am Lillian Rashi. Welcome to my world.
The Cursed, which kind of leads me to believe that this is connected to the Bloodruth story. I can't wait for people to read the Bloodruth story to give me the breakdown so I know what happened. "2025, again, monster year, all pun intended."
Well, I have a special surprise for you, fans.
You know what's
We're
interesting? I typically, like, I've met identical twins before, and I couldn't really tell them apart. Although I guess you notice slight differences, but maybe it's because I've been watching a bunch of Jen and Sylvia Saska's videos, and I've seen them more. I now can tell them apart. Like, I know who's who when I'm looking at a picture or video.
going solo. We are
Without
writing
them
our
saying,
own
obviously.
books, and my book will be starring none other than Lillian Rashi, the ultimate Japanese femme fatale. Who is she and what does she want? Well, I know you're dying to know, and I'm dying to tell you. If you're
Yo, that dress that Sylvia has on, dope. Super dope. I like the dress.
a fan of Japanese horror, especially the great Junji Ito, you are absolutely going to love this book. It is a mature horror novel. It has extreme and disturbing situations in it. It is a sci-fi body horror thriller.
Would somebody please break down for me what body horror thriller is? Like I said, I'm not into horror, and I don't know what that is. Maybe this is something I don't want to see, but it definitely has me intrigued, so I need to know.
And Andrew's in the room. I don't know if I can say very much more, but what I can tell you is it's better than Sylph's. So much better. Like, don't even bother buying Sylph's book. I don't even know if it fits into the continuity of the universe, to be honest. Lillian is going to grab
It's
you
hilarious.
by the censored word and not let go in a good way. Just remember your safe word.
Yo, and they have a friendly competition going. I saw their post on X, and it seems like the running competition is whoever's book sells more, then that sister has to wear the merch of the other sister's book. And from what it seems like, there was an NDA, so they weren't supposed to say anything about merch. So I guess Michael Copper and Lillian Ranashi's books will come with a merch attached, which I guess is kind of to be expected. I like the Ripperverse merch, as you can see, rocking my Rippaverse shirt right now. Now let's look at the next one and see what's going on.
Oh, be honest. We all have things in life that we want, things that we desire. You only get one life. Why deny yourself pleasure? It could all be gone in an instant. Your life's
Alpha
enough now.
Course, such a dope book.
And where did all that self-sacrifice land you? We all die, but so few truly live. I can see what you want. I know how far you're willing to go to make it happen. I can make it happen for you. I can make your...
So, just because of the dialogue, here's what I'm thinking. Could it be that part of Michael Copper's thing is he can give people power? Is it just me, or does it seem like that's something that he was kind of alluding to as he was talking? Maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I'm just looking too deep into it.
wildest dreams come true. Hell, I can even make you a star, if you're willing to do the work. Why not guarantee your success with a deal with me? I have a very exclusive club, you might say, and growing numbers every day. You'd be amazed by
Some
who's
things
working hard at this.
happening in the background.
join
I
us.
like it.
Why don't we make a deal? I have a contract right here. You'll be very glad that you did. This is going to change your life. And after I'm done with you, nothing will ever be the same again. Welcome to the Black Eye Club.
You know what this kind of made me think? Now, when I said this before, like when I say that Ripperverse comics remind me of, other mainstream comics, inevitably there's somebody in the comments that, oh, he's, taking from this, or why can't he come up with his own ideas? Look, man, people are inspired by the things they love and they pull from that inspiration. And you notice that they pull from that inspiration. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing in and of itself, as long as you add your spice, your sauce to it. And I think Eric July has taken his inspirations, added his sauce, and of course, Sylvia's writing this book, so maybe this is something she came up with originally. So of course, they worked for Marvel before. They did Black Widow, and they might have done more books for Marvel. I'm not too familiar with Jen and Sylvia Saska's career outside of the Rippaverse. Eric July really introduced me to them. I know he had mentioned their Black Widow comic before and how good it was. Speaking of which, I'm going to have to pick that series up. I'm going to have to check that out because he's not the only one that said it was really good. Anyway, I digress. This reminds me of the Court of Owls, and now it's got me even more intrigued for Michael Copper's book. I wonder in ISOM 3, this is kind of not off the topic, still on the topic. I wonder if in Bloodruth's book, they're going to tie up exactly what happened at the end of ISOM number 2. For those of you who've read it, I haven't gone fully through that book yet. I think I did ISOM 1. I'm going to do ISOM 2. Then I'm going to do Alpha Core, then Yaira, and then Gooding if I haven't already. I don't think I did Gooding. But I wonder if they're going to tie that up in Bloodruth or maybe in either Lillian Rashi or Michael Copper's book.
Hi,
Looking
guys.
good.
So now that you heard about that girly stuff that Jen's up to, let's get to the good stuff with Michael Copper.
Boo.
Everybody loves a bad boy. For those literary fans in the
Yeah, see,
Rippaverse,
that's
if you are
and her
kind of
saying that kind of takes me back to what I said. I think Michael Copper is that like bad boy, rogue, kind of wild, just doing it his way and not really worried about the consequences because he's powerful. So either way, he's going to take care of it. It's kind of the feeling I got.
Polinick or Brett Easton LSU are gonna love Michael when him and his fancy suits get out into town and really let loose, in a Michael Copper way. There's babes, there's a lot of fighting. There might be even a little dirtiness from Hollywood. Not
Now
that I
that's
would have seen any
kind of
that.
hilarious, alluding to maybe they're going to take cues from some things they, I guess, learned about Hollywood. I think they spent some time in Hollywood, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not really sure about that, but maybe they're going to kind of take that angle and show some of the nastier, dirtier side, like the really shady side of entertainment, and that'll be in this book. It's interesting. I definitely, I'm here for it.
Put it in the script. And buy a couple of gems just for niceness, but buy like 2 of Michael's. But don't buy any of those. Just buy Lillian. You don't need
See,
Michael.
I like
don't need.
I like this going back and forth. It's all friendly, but they probably really are competitive. I think both of these books might do well just based on the fans that they already had even before ever getting with the Ripperverse.
Need him, obviously. Okay, so we're kind of competitive. Don't buy her book, buy my book. But y'all read Alpha Core, right? Michael Copper is useless. Lillian Rashi, she gets poo-poo done. He was holding back. You read Michael Copper and you're like, whoa, this boy.
See, we kind of got a little bit of a view into Lillian Ranashi's powers, like maybe an idea. And maybe, like I said, Michael Copper was alluding to the fact that he can give people powers. Maybe, I don't know. But I am intrigued by both of these characters because it seems like whatever's going on in the Ripperverse, somehow these two people are behind the scenes, pulling the strings on all of it. And I love villains like that in comic books. I really do.
And she was like, whoa. And then
I was like,
God. She was crying. She's like, oh, she wrote better comic book.
I did not.
That's exactly what she did. She was like, for like an hour. And I was like, Jen, it's okay.
That never happened.
Your comic's all right.
I think she's remembering when she was crying
I don't know, Jen. I think that kind of happened. Nah, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
because Lillian was so good.
Yo, I'm excited about this. I always enjoy when Jen and Sylvia talk about the Ripperverse because you can see their genuine excitement. I think they're genuinely excited about what's going on, and that's infectious. As a fan, it makes me excited because I know they are actually extremely into the creations that they're bringing to light.